talk to executives and not say we think. We went around with a clipboard, but we've seen it. This is producing undeniable data. I'm not going to go through this. There's actually a show outside. You can have a little look at that. But it's producing a whole range from just the basic utilization. And I would tell you, we've done, in the last 3 years, not all using this type of technology, but we've done about 200,000 workstations over the last 2 years in all countries of the world. Average occupancy is about 53%. If you're a big organization with millions and millions of dollars on your real estate going out, that's enormous opportunity. Capturing it's difficult, and one of the things that's proved difficult is the fact that we can't get the real data. We think it's anecdotal data. This is giving us real data. We give you a number of potential desks that are free and so on. You can look at that, you can peek them and trough them, you can look at over a month, you can look at over a day, you can look at over a week. Some really interesting stuff doing, we'll talk about in a second, on what we learned from some of that profiling, where people are in the building, on which day, doing what, and how we change the way we see the building. So all of this sort of analysis you can see, and if you know the total cost of occupancy, you can look at the potential amount of loss that the organisation is suffering from the underutilisation of the building. You can look at it by building type, by weekly profile. You can look at it by type of the environment in the building, meeting rooms, workstations, open spaces. You can look at different functions, finance, supply chain management, and so on, within the organisation, if you've got that level of data in the way you build it, your space management system is used. This is interesting too. So you can drill down now. This is to rooms. This is individual room profiles. How often was the room used? How many people were in them? So you can rank them. You can look at them, in any level of granularity you like, down to how that room is being used. And then, of course, what we start to do is we start to bring those different data together. Because, of course, understanding you've got, whatever it is, 45% vacancy in your building, in your portfolio, is in itself nice to know. And it's factual now. We've got the technology which tells us we know exactly where it's being used. But of course, it's like Swiss cheese. It's got holes all over the place. They're not in one place. You can't get at them easily. So you then start to bring in other data. This one's showing lease breaks, for example. This is showing different headcount in different locations, total cost of occupancy, and you start to bring those in to making well-informed decisions from bringing those different data sources in to analyse. This one's really interesting. So when we did this, historically, we'd have a clipboard and we'd have people going around in sort of certain intervals. And of course, when we found that, because occupancy was always lower than the organisation would like to think it is, given the amount of money they're spending on the real estate. And the challenge we always had was, I was in that day, but I was actually away from my desk for a few minutes. So this is now uploading every 2 seconds. And what you've got here is levels of vacancy, of non-occupancy. So we got stuff which, this is a profile, there's 48 desks here. These are individual desks. So unoccupied for this period of time, micro absence, people absent for 15 minutes or less. This one, medium absence, 15 minutes to 2 hours. I have 1 minute now. Macro absence, more than 2 hours, and unoccupied, giving us a level of granularity of data to really understand how the building is occupied more than we've ever had before. So building intelligence is still in its infancy. There's absolutely no doubt that I think we're going to be moving from big data to big insight as we really start to understand how that building is performing. I think we're starting to say, if we know that building is 30% occupied on a Friday, we won't service it in the same way. We won't even open half the building because we're going to make the flexible occupancy just the bottom half of the building. Because today it's random, people going sitting everywhere, it's 50% vacant. You start to really change the way you even support the building and the people in the building. I think it's really, this whole big data and the way it's affecting our profession, real estate, is changing the way we work. And I think we've only just started. Thank you.